You were looking live at the virtual Richmond Speedway, Richmond, Virginia, home to a couple NASCAR Cup Series events every year, and tonight playing host to the second round of the APC eSERIES. These drivers got at it for the first time last week. I'm joined by my broadcast partner, Justin Prince. Y'all ready to go tonight?
Yes, absolutely. And many of these drivers are all set to go because when it comes to Richmond Raceway on the iRacing service here, Jamie, it's one of the best tracks that puts on a show, especially with these types of race cars. They have a lot of chances for side-by-side battling and a lot of chances for drivers to carry speed and momentum across this fast short track.
3/4 of a mile speedway. It used to be a half a mile with guardrail until they redesigned it, made its current 3/4 of a mile layout, and it's seen some great Saturday night shootouts over the years. Of course, historically, for years, the last race before the chase, Justin, and it decided whether a lot of guys got to keep playing in the playoffs or going home.
Yes, such a great racetrack, and it's a fan favorite, mind you, on the Cup schedule in real life for NASCAR because of how great the racing can be here. I think we're in for a good show tonight, Jamie, but first things first. There are drivers looking to fight to make the show, which is slightly smaller than last week. 28 cars make the feature, 18 are battling in a last chance qualifier about to get underway as you take a look at the grid.
So 22 cars are locked in on the point here. Jordan House, I believe he was victorious in the last chance race last week. Primetime Josh Stoddy outside of row one. The two of Rick Burbridge inside of row two. Looks like Sean Grossman alongside him. Dale Shaw in the 83. Jordan Lawrence as well. Well, this looks like the grid for the last chance race here.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of drivers, mind you, Jamie, who did not get a chance to put in qualifying times, and they're paying the price for it. Take, for example, 11th place starter Joe Lawrence. He was on his second attempt around the track, then checker flag wove around the circuit.
So what was the situation? Guys playing games tonight?
Well, when it comes to racing here on the iRacing service, some drivers may wait to the end of the session, Jamie, for track temperatures. 80 degrees Fahrenheit is that track temp. If it drops, that's about a half a tenth to a tenth of a second you can gain potentially. That's what some of the strategy may have been, and the ones who waited were snake bitten by having to go to this LCQ.
You have Jamie Cox, who was running in the top three till the very end last week. You've got Dale Shaw, who led the race before running out of fuel with just 3 laps to go. There's Luke Ramsey as well, back in the pack, our series promoter. Field getting all set to go. Firing off turn 4. Matt Perdico outside of row 2. And then you see Cole Tim from North Carolina in the 57. Car's veteran driver rolling from the outside of row 3, and House to lead him down into 1 for the first time.
Great launch by House to get himself to the bottom side in this LCQ race. And a quick caution flag is out in the back of the field. Jordan Sims, he had a lot of bad luck last week. This time the 47 gets involved with Matt Lockwood, Jamie.
Well, Sim was able to run up front a couple times there last week, but early problems for the Stuff Lubricant Incorporated Sims countertop number 47. Jordan, a driver hailing from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, recorded his first APC feature win back in 2019.
Yeah, and one of the main things, of course, to note when it comes to some of these drivers, some are still getting acquainted to the iRacing service. Remember, last week was the first event. There's a few things you had to adjust for. The lack of feeling, say, outside of what your steering wheel is telling you depending on your setup. In other cases, you've got to adjust to the differences in sight depending on if you have a VR headset, only a single monitor, triple monitors. There's so many different factors that these drivers have to attribute or try and prepare for when it comes to sim racing compared to real world racing.
Most definitely, as they get set to get turned loose again shortly. We'll go back to action with early caution here in the LCQ. And one big difference from last week is nobody's got that extra car in their back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one fast repair was originally the discussion. 0 fast repairs is the official call, though, for tonight, meaning you damage that race car, you're likely not going to be able to have the same speed. So in other words, when it comes to that decision now, do you push to a bit aggressive and risk hitting somebody and getting involved in an incident? Or do you elect to be patient and try and make sure you keep a clean race car as the event goes on? That's got to be a factor now for these competitors.
Field still rolling under the pace car. Jordan House in the 8 machine. Got a couple APC starts last year. And, of course, primetime Josh Stoddy, Sabo Beach driver from Chesley, Ontario, in that Rona MEI paving machine.
Yeah, such a beautiful race car, mind you. And, of course, throwback 8 on that race car that's leading up at the front as well. I think it reminds a lot of people of a certain person, of course, in Dale Jr. and making that number font famous. But these drivers already showing that they need to push. Just 6 drivers, mind you, from this LCQ, Jamie, make it to the show, meaning you make contact too aggressive, you end up potentially risking damaging the race car. At the same time as well, if you're at the back of the field, the amount of urgency is much higher than some drivers may have in even the feature race tonight.
Yeah, you definitely won't want to go home without racing in the show. Again, Jordan House, your leader. Of course, Jordan's dad, Paul House, a legend at Flamborough Speedway, multi-time track champ. Another Flamborough driver, Flamborough-based team, guy who grew up racing there, Rick Burbridge, in the Blue Deuce, running third. Field now getting doubled up. Justin, we are almost getting set to go. You got Burbridge sitting third. Fourth is the 57 of Tim. Then back in row 3, it's Matt Pritico on the inside, and Pinty's late model driver, DJ Kennington, right now holding down that final transfer spot. They work down the back stretch, and it looks like a couple guys there fighting to get in. That's Jamie Cox on the outside. He'll restart 7th or 8th. Alongside him, Dale Shaw. That's row 4 as they get set to go to green.
These drivers all set to hit the loud pedal once more. 24 laps to go in the last chance qualifier. Already an earlier jump. House off and away. Green flag is out. Some drivers didn't get going on the top. Others quickly trying to shuffle the way to the bottom. Stoddy, though, trying to block 2 to 3 lanes at once as he goes up high.
A little bit of beating and banging down through 1 and 2. Stoddy high. Burbridge on the bottom now. Burbridge has got Cole Tim to the outside. Car's late model star, Cole Tim, he'll tuck in line behind Burbridge. Burbridge now looks to the inside of Stoddy, but he's got to play defense on Tim. Tim dives to the bottom into 1 and 2.
And some drivers look and make some moves early. Remember, Cole Tim showed some great amount of speed. The last race at USA International Speedway was a top 5 car much of the night. He's now running away and quickly from Dale Shaw & Co. Still side by side amongst some of the competitors into 1 and 2, including now a shuffling back of Stoddy as he gets passed by Tim.
2 guys who are getting it on right now, Dale Shaw and Jordan Lawrence. They have cut through the field like butter. Now Shaw gets to the left rear of the 17 of Stoddy, trying to work to the bottom. Now Shaw dives down to the apron of the track, swings back,
and the caution is out. And it looks like it was the back of the field this time, Jamie. Once again, some drivers that had some bad luck, as we talked about. This time it appeared the 15 of Matt Lockwood. He's still trying to get going. He slammed the outside safer.
Well, we'll see the replay. They worked down into 3. Tried to go 3 wide. Lockwood up on the outside, and he just got squeezed. And then took a shot.
Yeah, That was not how you want to get severe damage, and that might just take them out of contention to make it to the main show tonight. Unfortunate what happened there, but when it comes to Richmond here, Jamie, there is that very high likelihood that if you hit the gas too hard and end up trying to push off the corner, you'll end up slamming that outside wall off a two.
Oh. Hola.
And I believe that was Dale Shaw just saying, oh, pardon me, us there, Jamie. Either way, let's put it this way. The urgency, I think, is going to pick up, though, for 6 on back, Jamie, because guys like Shaw, Lawrence, Burbridge, they're going to have to hold on to guys like Critical, Kennington, and Gibbons, who are all going to be hungry to try and get in that top 6 in the next 19, 18 laps or so.
Yeah, for sure. Some guys still got some work to do.
So the question becomes, though, at the same time, I think, Jamie, how do you personally feel we're going to see some of these drivers pace themselves, knowing that they need to be top 6? Do you just wait for a mistake, in your opinion, or do you wait for, or you try push the issue, rather, to try and force someone into a mistake, based on your experience driving?
Well, you got a lot of guys at the front who are fast and will probably remain at the front. We figured it was only a matter of time before we saw Dale Shaw cut his way through the field. Now that he's up there, he's in a safe position. I mean, priority number 1 for all these guys is just to make the A main.
Absolutely agree with you on that, and that has to be the priority as a driver, because remember, many of these drivers are also trying to represent the rear-world sponsors here in the APC eSERIES, mind you, on these race cars. So a lot of them I know are keeping up and watching along and cheering on their favorite race car drivers at this point. Either way, Jamie, looks like we're about to get the 1 to go signal here for 17 to go coming to 16. To reset the field, though, for those just tuning in to the LCQ race to make it into the feature race here at Richmond Raceway for the APC eSERIES second ever event. Jordan House, Cole Tim on row 1 for the start, Stoddy and Shaw in row 2, Burbridge in row 3 with Joe Lawrence. Then the battle for drivers looking to get back into contention of the top 6. Kennington, Pritico, Grossman, as well as Gibbons, rounding up the top 10 starting spots for this green flag.
Yeah, those guys at the back end of the top 10 have some work to do. Here is where it'll be halfway down. Next time around, cross flags will be coming out a lap after the greenhouse. A great job on the restart. Cole Tim tries to hang with him. Now it's Shaw side by side with Stoddy down into 1.
Already a majority of the drivers making the way to the bottom side. Single filing out. Trouble in the backdrop. Critico spinning around to the back straight away. No caution flag as he's back and going, and the rest of the field runs away from the 21.
Yeah, the field stays green for the time being out front still. House,
and now the caution's out. Pardon me there. And Jamie, that was a secondary incident, I think, that just brought the caution flag back out again with the 34. Heavy. Almost left too little space in the middle line and just door banged the 34 as he was trying to save the car from a bit of a bobble here.
Yeah, they just got 3 wide at the wrong spot on the backstretch, and that's when calamity ensued. Definitely, for sure. And we got a guest in the booth, our in-race commentator for right now, Dale Shaw. First of all, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but I think we got you here now.
It's all good. It's all good. We got nothing better to do. We're just riding around.
So we chatted earlier this week, Dale, and your exact words were, when I asked how much you've been playing iRacing, you said, well, when the baby's sleeping, I'm racing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been a long day today. I'm pretty tired tonight, but yeah, no, I didn't do a ton of testing for this race this week, but I really like Richmond. Really fun setup. It actually really surprised me. This place really drives like Sunset Speedway in real life. How you kind of, but turn 2 is turn 4, I guess you could say. So like when you come off at 2 at Sunset, you really got to pedal it up the hill, and turn 4 is really like that here tonight. So this week is a lot more fun than last week to drive.
You think that's going to lead to hopefully some better racing tonight now that we got a wider track surface to work on?
I think so. Honestly, the cars are a lot harder to drive this week, and I'm hoping that, with the cars being harder to drive, it's going to spread the field out more. But, we just got to survive this hooligans race and get to the main and, get through the strategy and stuff like that. But, no, I'm really enjoying this week compared to last week. A lot more fun to drive.
Tell us about what happened in qualifying. How did you end up back in the last chance race?
Well, like I said, it's been a long day, and I was just kind of relaxing here, and I looked up, and I thought the qualifying session was 10 minutes of qualifying, because you can go whenever you want, and I looked up, and it said 5 minutes, so I flew off pit road, but I didn't get out there in time, so that was my bad. I just wasn't paying attention, but I can use a couple more laps here in the B main here, and kind of be able to see everybody's strategy, and the feature isn't a bad thing. So yeah, it was just my bad. I screwed up.
Now, obviously, even though it's just the B main, I mean, checkered flags on your mind. You got a couple tough customers in front of you there. You got Jordan House, who's going to be on the pole. He has been deadly on restarts, and of course, you haven't raced a lot with Cole Tim, at least live, but you know what he can do behind the wheel of a race car.
Oh yeah, Cole Tim and I used to be pretty good buddies. We actually, the first year of the Cars Tour, he won the Cars Tour Championship, and I won the APC Championship, and we actually went down to Hickory to race down there to kind of give them a hand at the same time and make sure he had a backup car to race if he needed it. So Cole and I, we've been friends for a long time, and yeah, Jordan House is pretty funny. We actually hang out on the internet here during the week when we're practicing and racing and stuff like that, and it's pretty funny watching him try to get a handle on iRacing, and he's a pretty cool guy away from the racetrack too. So, but to be honest with you, we're in survival mode right now. They're taking 6, so we're in 3rd. So kind of my plan here is if House gets the jump in, I'm gonna maybe let Tim in and just try and ride and stuff and survive. But and I could use a checker flag too, so you never know.
Good luck, Dale. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks guys. We'll talk to you later.
Dale Shaw, driver of the Wellington Systems number 83 machine, getting set to restart here from 3rd.
He's in a good position, Jamie, for the start. Tim and House ready to bring them back to the green flag. Pace truck is off. A bit of a bunch up this time. Stacked up start this time as the green flag waves. Off and away goes everyone as they start to single file out for that run to turn 1, about 4/5 on back.
And it is an absolute hornet's nest by the final transfer spot. Rick Burbridge on the bottom. He holds it right now. Stoddy coming under some serious heat from Jordan Lawrence, the London driver, 2019 APC Rookie of the Year in the series, to the inside of primetime Stoddy. This is for 4th, working down into 1.
Side by side as Lawrence tries to keep it off the 17, pushes Stoddy up the racetrack, and off and away goes Joe Lawrence up to 4th position. As this is going on, the battle for the lead side by side.
Oh, Jordan House puts it in the fence. We'll see how much that costs him. He banged it off the wall coming in turn 4, just what Dale Shaw was talking about. Those cars getting really loose coming off turn 4. House paid the price. House just got into the fence again off of turn 2. You're riding with Jordan House. A severely damaged right side of that 8 car. He looked to be in the catbird seat. Right now he is just treading water, Justin.
And this is something the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series talked about, that loose condition. Now the car is dealing with a broken suspension possibly. House again taps the wall down the back straightaway. As he's trying to hold on to 5th position, this is going to get difficult, and it's going to get to where Burbridge might start pushing it quickly in the 2.
He's got 4 more laps to hold on to get to the A main. Now Burbridge takes a peek to the outside. A couple of drivers who cut their teeth at Flamborough Speedway. Rick Burbridge in the blue deuce looks to the bottom. He lifts now, rides right behind Jordan House off turn 4. House goes to the wall. Burbridge cuts it down to the bottom.
Burbridge needs to try and get underneath. Coming to 3 to go this time. Gives a little bit of a shot. Closing on in behind as well as the 6th, 7th place car in Della Riva, who will be able to move on. Can House hold on for only 3 more attempts? Another shot as the 2 tries to defend behind at the same time. Here comes the run for Burbridge.
Burbridge to the bottom of House. He'll get to the door. He'll get past House. Now, will House close the door on Della Riva? He will, but the 74 stays in it off turn 4, or off turn 2 and down the backstretch. House still holding on to that final transfer spot. He's got 2 to go at the stripe.
And as this has all gone on, the lead has changed hands. Dale Shaw was led on by Boyd Cole Tim, and now just needs to hang on to try and come away with a decent starting position for the main. White flag this time by, as the transfer spot is side by side to 3 and 4.
Shaw looking for that checkered flag, like he said during our interview just a couple minutes ago. There's Burbridge in 5th. Race for the final transfer spot. Down through 1 and 2. Now your leaders down the backstretch for the final time. Tim doesn't look like he's going to have anything for Shaw. There's a dead car down to the inside as the leaders go through turn 3 and 4. Now looking for that transfer spot. And who else is going to make the main?
And it looks like Jordan House was able to move on, Jamie, to the feature, because it seemed Della Riva in the backdrop of the 8 machine spun out, trying to set it into 1 and 2, and a damaged race car moves on while Dale Shaw goes all the way to the point to win. What a drive for Dale Shaw to punch his ticket into the feature race tonight, man. What a performance. And he did it very cleanly and very consistently to be able to quickly make those passes. And now he gets to perform in the 28 car show, Jamie.
Definitely good for the 83 of Dale Shaw. I pulled the 8 of Jordan House in here. We'll see if he's got a read on us.
I got you there.
How much did you have to Jordan, how much did you have to hang on there to that race car?
Jordan House, do you have a copy?
Sorry, I just got the race director talking over you right now. Should be good now. Yeah, I had to hang on there. I got a little bit of push with Cole behind me. I got a little too excited on the throttle and knocked the wall down. And then I did it a couple more times. Car got a little pushy. And I had guys all over me. So that was definitely a fight to stay in it.
Oh, it was a crazy battle. Burbridge ended up getting by you, put you on the hot seat. Tell us about holding up the 74 those final couple laps.
I was just doing everything I could. I tried to throw it in there a couple times. I washed up, and then he was actually flashing around a bit. So 1 minute he was there when he wasn't, so I just ended up driving my line and hope for the best.
Well, we still got a long night ahead of us, 150 laps at Richmond. I believe you get a new car now, though, don't you?
I hope so, that's for sure. Coming through the B main worked for us last week, so hopefully he'll do it again.
Who's going to be the toughest guy to beat here this evening?
No, my buddy Dale's been pretty fast. He's been pretty lax in the practice sessions, but he's quick. He'll be one to look out for again.
How much time do you get to spend behind the wheel of the sim?
Honestly, this week I've ran both sessions, and that's it. I'm an essential worker, I guess, right now, so I'm still working full time. So I have basically zero time. I get home as fast as I can to get on this to run the APC session, and that's it.
And how eager are you to get back to the real thing as soon as we can?
I can't wait. I definitely can't drive a computer that well, so I'd much rather get in my car.
I know you've competed part-time in the APC series over the last little bit. What are the the 2020 plans when we get going for that 8 machine?
I guess we'll see where funding is with business being shut down. It's kind of hard to get sponsored with what's going on right now, but I guess we'll also see how many races are left in the season by the time we get going. Hopefully we've got a bunch, and I'll run as many as I can.
Jordan House joining us. Thanks again, Jordan. Good luck in the A main.
And he sounded fairly confident as that interview progressed, Jamie, for tonight. Just about 2 minutes or so until the drivers are allowed onto the racetrack to get ready for the grid. I think we've seen tonight so far some great speed shown by guys like Shaw, but he's going to be one of the drivers to watch because he's going to have to come from nearly the back. But remember 2 names that were strong in race number 1, the Lapceviches, Trayden and Caden. They showed great pace throughout the entire week in preparation, along with Ryan Dyson. Those drivers have track position for this upcoming grid.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens during this 150 lapper. And last week, it was a big question mark. Did they or did they not have to pit? This week, we know the answer before we even start.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, many drivers are in a better situation compared to last race. If it goes green, I think those concerns may pop up a little bit based on the nature of Richmond. But depending on the amount of yellows and, of course, caution laps counting after some of the trouble last race, depending on how many caution laps, they should potentially be able to, in turn, make it to the checker flag as long as they save fuel during the pace laps throughout the event tonight.
Well, I got some differing opinions from some other guys who are thinking that the max they're going to be able to go is about 125 laps here this evening.
So similar to what was with the Cup car then. That was up to 120.
So I think we will see a pit stop by all teams here this evening. I don't think you're going to see the Dale Shaw try to run it out to the end no matter what happens. You're going to see pit stops by all the teams. So the question is, do you come early? Do you come late? Do you come twice?
Well, the nature of Richmond, and I'm glad you brought up the actual field numbers there, apologies there on my part, is a lot of drivers, if you pit under green, Jamie, if we get a massively long green flag run and a caution comes out, your bet is made, so to speak, in your strategy. I wouldn't be surprised if many drivers wait until to see how the race plays out tonight, and then around halfway, especially if there's pace laps at that point, duck down to the pit lane, top off on fuel, and finish the race from that point out. But now, I believe it's time for grid time.
APC cars getting laid out on the speedway right now. Your feature coming up. I'd like to thank London Recreational Racing, proud sponsor of the APC series, Mike Schmidt and the boys there doing all they do. Proud sponsor on Sean Chenoweth's number 89 C late model. Brady Smith will roll off 10th. Looks like we got Ray Moore now shooting from 12th spot. Jamie Dyson, 15th place qualifying effort. There's Chenoweth. How about that? He's done some work over the week, puts it inside the top 20. Pete Shepard, we saw him fast at times. And watch these guys coming from the back. Trevor Culver, Dale Shaw, Cole Tim. Culver qualifying all the way back in 22nd spot.
And we just got clarification, Jamie. You mentioned those fuel numbers. Competition caution has just been told from race officials to be at lap 75 tonight if it goes green, Jamie. So that takes that worry out of some of the drivers, but it's the matter of if it goes green to that point. That's the thing. We mentioned the speed of the Lapceviches, Jamie, earlier on in this broadcast. The brothers ready to start 1-2 for the drop of the green flag in just about a pace lap and a half.
Well, real quick before we get going, we'll pop in our pole sitter, Trayton Lapcevich. The happy birthday, Trayton. Turned 16 this week. You all set to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I got Caden starting on my outside here, so hopefully he plans to just ride too. And yeah, should be good.
I guess it'd be no better way to celebrate your birthday than notching the big W here tonight.
Yes, sir. Hope to get it done.
Well, we'll let you get ready. You're going green here in a lap. Good luck, Trayton.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Now the main focus at this point has to be getting the best start possible, having a brother and, mind you, teammate on the iRacing service with Bobby Dale Warner Legacy Esports. That's going to be beneficial for these drivers. We'll see how they do here.
Green getting set to fly. Lapsevich brothers on the point. They come out of 4 and 150 laps of green flag action. Ryan Dyson rolls from 3rd spot in that 28. They race down into turn 1 for the first time. Trayton on the high side, or on the bottom side. Caden up high. Now Caden's got company on his inside. Looks like the 3 machine of...
Trouble. Ryan Dyson just got clipped. Able to save it though in front of the field. Everyone stacking up near 3-4 wide as they try and get back up to speed.
It's coming under fire from a lot of guys, and this happens early in the race. Somebody 3 wide. Bumper cars as one ended up close to the wall. Everybody getting sorted out. We still got 148 laps to go, fellas. Settle down.
Yeah, that was Nagy that got shuffled up the racetrack, but a very interesting start. Already, drivers like Ray Morno looking to take advantage of some of the stack-ups. Already up to P number 8 on the pass. Up the racetrack, though, and dropping a couple spots. That's going to be Brady Smith, who is stuck on the top side, while Morno pulls away on the bottom side through 3 and 4.
Yeah, Morno's got a good run, sitting 8th right now. Jay Dewar making the show. He's in the top 20. Wicked as well, making the show here on time this week. Ray Morno, now the Windsor driver. Cycle through some of the in-car shots, working down into this turn 3 area. Racing at Richmond.
Gotta love racing at Richmond. Just in front of these drivers, though, 2nd spot, just about to swap spots. Caden Lapsevich was able to run underneath Nick Ramsey and swap by for 2nd position, all while the rest of the field has spread themselves out. Now, one thing to keep in mind, Jamie, with this racetrack and the nature of the circuit, it's known for its long green flag runs with the super late model. So expect, now that the drivers are into a rhythm, a much cleaner race compared to race number 1 in the series.
So far, so good. Just that one early caution. And how about the 97? Putting on a pretty good run. Tyler DiVienzo. We saw how fast he was last week. He was in the top 5 for most of the evening. Last Thursday night. I believe that's lights out Mike Bentley behind DiVienzo. Then the 31 of Jade Franklin, who was running 3rd right till the end and then got glitched, I guess. Ended up giving 3rd place to Trayton Lapsevich last week at USA International Speedway. 7 laps down, 150 the distance here tonight. Race number 2 of the APC United Late Model Esports Championships. Jamie Maudsley along with Justin Prince, and everything's kind of settled in. Everybody's just running the pace now, Justin.
Everyone getting into a nice and clean rhythm at this point, and exactly how they wanted this race to play out. Remember, if it stays green, competition yellow at the halfway point of the race. Side by side, though, heating up for 11th on back. Cole Tim, one of the drivers from the last chance qualifier on the inside. Camrath up on the top side in his black, green, and blue machine. Way too hard on Apex. Here comes the 57 of the run off the corner.
57 and taking it to a couple of the London Recreational Racing teammates. The Instant Classic Andy Camrath. And here's Sean Chenoweth, the Plattsfield driver. He'll tuck right in the line behind Cole Tim off turn 2. And underneath his teammate Camrath down into 3. Chenoweth, a multi-time Flamborough Speedway champ, takes the spot from Camrath. Put him up to about, I believe, P of 12 now.
He's had a nice, decent run so far. +4 for him. Give a shout out to, though, to that 57 as well, just in front. +13 for Tim as well. Many of the drivers who started in the LCQ, Jamie, are quickly carving their way to the field already. Tim looking to make the move now for 10th on Gemmel.
He moves to the inside of Dorchester, Shea Gemmell again. Gemmell becoming a daddy 2 months ago. He's in the North Country Property Maintenance APC sponsored entry. Down the backstretch they work. Now Gemmell's got company. It's Chenoweth stuffing it in there at the bottom. Oh, Chenoweth gets loose, bangs off of Gemmell. Gemmell up towards the concrete, saved it, but he's going to lose about 4 spots in the exchange.
Yeah, that was not good for Gemmell. Just a little bit of a clip of the apron, it looked like, for Chenoweth to push that 3 up the racetrack in turn. Now it's just a matter of making sure you don't panic. That was something some of the pro drivers on the iRacing service mentioned. If you allow yourself to panic in situations such as these long lines where you have a driver up in front of you, that's where you make mistakes as a competitor.
And all it takes is one mistake here, and the concrete walls at Richmond will eat you up. Trayton Lapsevich, he's led since the early going. Again, just turned 16. The driver from Grimsby, Ontario, working his way down through turns 1 and 2 at Richmond Speedway. He was active last Saturday night in the Rowdy Energy eSERIES Super Late Model Series with real super late model drivers from all over North America. Trayton unfortunately did not make the A main. He got into it with Raphael Lassard late in his heat race. Finished 6th in the heat race, didn't get the spot to the main. Caden ended up coming up with a top 10. Here's Blair Wickett now racing down into turn 1. Into turn 3. He's got the 3 of Shea Gemmell right on his back doorstep, working underneath the 49.
Wickett now making his way into turn number 3. This time allows the space for Jason Wood. Will Wood take it? No. Can't turn it back down as Wickett continues to fight hard side by side. The 97 types it hard on the bottom side into 1 and 2. 49 still really aggressive on the defense. This is something drivers can do. Fight like this on the middle line for about 4, 5, 6 laps. The longer you defend, though, the more you burn up your equipment.
Well, if you can keep that guy on the bottom pinched down, it will also burn his tires up as he tries to make that car cut. And of course, a good run there. We see Jordan House coming up to join that battle. He was one of the drivers in our last chance qualifying race, and hats off to his virtual crew getting the virtual right side of the car fixed up after he bounced it off the wall a couple times in the B main. He's going to go underneath Jason Wood. This is for position in around 15th. A little bit of contact. Now the 11 will squeeze by on the bottom. I believe that is Jamie Dyson in the 11 machine. He goes to battle with Wood down the backstretch.
Dyson now looking to take advantage. Just, I think, is waiting to allow Wood to make a mistake, because Wood, he's been stuck on that middle line for what appears to be at least 5, 6 laps at least, and has almost been content there. Finally finds a hole in the bottom side, but at this point the damage is done on the tires for the stint, as what a slide for Dyson off the corner. Jamie Dyson holds on to it.
Well, you wonder just what Jason Wood is doing. Again, running a little higher than that. It's either a case of he's worn out his stuff already, or the other option is, Justin, maybe he's just not cutting the corners as sharp. Maybe he's trying to save some tire for a little later in this run.
That's a possibility, absolutely, to try and save, but the concern is, and this was something many drivers have thought about throughout this racetrack, is there are 2 ways you can enter the quarters. You can try and arc it down to the bottom, to the yellow line specifically, or you can try and take a flatter entry and in turn try and hold on to the apex and have a higher corner exit. It looks like he's trying the arcing method, and it's just not been 100% sticking a lot of this time so far.
There's a view from Cole Tim's car. He currently running 9th, just inside the top 10, so he has passed a lot of cars after rolling off 24th in this A main. 15 spots to the good already. And now here we see Jade Franklin going to work on the 97 of DiVienzo. I believe they run 4th and 5th right now. 24 laps in, and hey, Justin, after last week and the virtual flagman's virtual arm almost falling off, waving the caution flag, how about this?
I think a lot of the drivers, put in the preparation time needed to be able to prepare for a race such as this. And at the same time, as I talked about, it's a track that normally has clean racing when it comes to these types of race cars. So I think that's all played into a great factor, in the drivers, I think, are absolutely showing that they can have some great racing here at this racetrack tonight. DiVincenzo, though, looks like he's about to get under attack by Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin screams to the inside of DiVincenzo down into turn 1. They work off turn 2. Tyler DiVincenzo, second generation racer. His dad, Rob DiVincenzo, drove Can-Am Midget for years, as well as a Cascar Super Series machine. He trails Jade Franklin right now. They work down the backstretch now. Franklin, Castro, one of the sponsors on that 31 machine. DiVincenzo right behind him in the 97. In 297s, the other one full-time series competitor Blair Wickett. But this is DiVincenzo up in the top 5, trailing Jade Franklin down the front stretch.
Franklin looking a little bit quicker at the moment on the bottom of 1 and 2, able to hold on to the yellow line perfectly. DiVincenzo, though, able to get an extra run off the corner, able to use that edge of the banking to arc it on down. That's what he's trying to do. Goes a higher line entry, trying to arc it off. This time, can't get the grip to stick as he slides around. Currently, the separation lap times a 1/10 of a second quicker either way was Franklin.
They race about 5 car lengths, 10 car lengths, maybe behind. Lights out Mike Bentley in the 51 again. Franklin sits 5th spot. DiVincenzo in 6th. DiVincenzo spent a lot of time in the top 5 last week. And you see Ray Morneau 3 or 4 car lengths behind them as they snake their way down into turn 1. Nick Ramsey having a quiet yet very productive night. Hasn't fallen out of the top 5 all evening. Has been in the top 3 for most of the night. Here's Ray Morneau in 7th spot, the Windsor driver, former Flat Rock Speedway street stock Chevy. You see right there, Justin, just how much that car bobbles getting off the corner. A little contact with the wall from DiVincenzo in the car in front of him.
Yeah, another just a tiny bit of a bobble for Morneau coming off a turn 2 this time. These drivers really trying to protect the right rear tires before the competition yell at lap 75. The thing is, though, there's a saying, loose is fast, and Morneau, he's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack at the moment. Most of the field is starting to fall into the 22.4s. Morneau is one of the few in the 22.3s at the moment still.
You can see right there, 22.391 last time out for Ray Morneau, the Windsor driver. Top 5 finish at Jukasa Speedway back in 2019. Hallmark Memorial is one of the sponsors on that Morneau Brother Racing machine. Little Ray Morneau cut his teeth up at Grand Bend Speedway. Another driver started his career at Grand Bend Speedway, Nick Ramsey, in the 07. One of our series officials. His last lap of 22.3. Pretty quick for that 07 machine, sponsored by APC, Mitchell Cycle, Radar Auto Parts, the Brandy Point Racing crew.
And caution flag is out all of a sudden. It looks like the 43 is stopped on the bottom of the racetrack in Once Upon a Child car.
Tough break for All In Jay Dewar. It's going to get spun around. Coming out of turn 4.
Back of the field had dropped back a little bit. Keep an eye on that blue machine. That is Burbridge, who is coming in very strong through 3 and 4. And watch right about here. Has to try and save the car out of bobble and gets helped right around. The reason for the yellow, he got stuck down there for a good 30-40 seconds before he finally found a hole.
Well, welcome into the booth, Cole Tim from North Carolina. Cole, you got it? At the line, and then this run through the field in the A main's been dynamite. We've been watching you move up into the top 10. Now, how's the car?
Car's really good. I'm just trying to get to the front as quick as I could. I know tires are going to be an issue, but I was expecting a caution kind of earlier in the race. So there, the last probably 15 or so laps, I was just kind of riding out, waiting for a caution. But I think we'll be good. You know, there's a lot of racing left, and so far it's been so clean. So we'll just see how the rest.
Well, you saw the whole field come down and take tires. What's the minimum amount of laps you think it's going to take before everybody comes to pit road?
I was monitoring my lap times there throughout that run, and I think like once you hit, I'd say 15 is probably the number. You know, once you get at least 15 hard laps on them, I think it's probably time to come get them, get some.
What's you ran well last week, ran in the top 3 all week. You know, having a good run here tonight. What's the biggest difference you're seeing between what happened last week and what we got going on here tonight? Some great racing.
I think a lot of it has to do with the racetrack, and the setup, obviously. But the racetrack is here. It's a bit of a wider racetrack. It's a little bit more forgiving. The setup's a little bit freer, so you have a little bit more option. Where last week it was tight, so you know if something happened, it was kind of happening so quick you couldn't adjust to it or do anything to you know stop anything from happening. So I think the setup has a lot to do with it. The racetrack's obviously racy. It's a 2-groove racetrack. Last week was 1 groove, but you know, like I said, it's been so far it's been clean. I think we'll have a good run to the end.
I saw the cars folks have rejigged their schedule. What about your plans for 2020? Have you got that far? Obviously, you know you're probably just like everybody else, just chomping at the bit to get going.
Yeah. You know, I haven't really raced since I think it was about 2017 was my last race. Been working a lot in racing. So I'm currently the underneath mechanic on the 9 car for Chase Elliott. So, you know, I'm just kind of waiting to get back to work. Really. You know, once that happens, I'm sure we'll be wide open. So, you know, I love to get back racing, whether it's you know my car or just working. But hopefully.
Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the night.
Yep. Thank you.
And Jamie, that driver you just spoke with, Cole Tim, he's absolutely been flying in this race so far. Going to be in a great spot for this restart in just a moment. Green flag is back out on the racetrack. Jordan Lapsevich with an error. Good start. Caden Lapsevich already to the bottom line. Had to defend a massive dive from behind. Everybody else trying to get into a rhythm as they start to battle up side by side. 6 on back.
That's the first good battle on the speedway. First time we've talked about this driver, the Sable Beach Road Warrior, to the outside of Jay Franklin. That's back for about 7th spot. Tyler DiVienzo now up into 9th, and that's Jordan Lawrence now up into 10th, one of the drivers from the B main.
And caution flag already back on the racetrack. Trevor Culver went around from 21st position. He was the last man in from time trial qualifying, and this distance amongst cars. Culver, I think he didn't realize he was not fully clear.
That virtually hurt me just watching it.
Yeah, one thing to note, some drivers do have real person spotters tonight, helping them make sure where cars are at, how fast they're running, helping them with strategy, etc. Culver, unfortunately, is one of those drivers who is relying on the virtual spotter, which sometimes can pop up in situations like that. And now, already quickly under the caution flag, everybody else has to be expected staying out since they just put on fresh tires.
Jamie, I'm here.
Well, how's fatherhood?
Well, he was crying there in the back, but we're gonna try and get this North Country APC machine hopefully to the front. We had a really good qualifying run. We gotta thank my wife for letting me have some practice time on this thing. But no, this is a good showing for the APC series and all these drivers out every single week. This is awesome.
I don't think he was crying. I think he was saying, Dad, stay in the bottom. Quit letting those guys pass you.
This is gonna be a waiting game, I think. As long as you keep your nose clean, you'll be there at the end. I'm just glad to make the show, honestly, Jamie. After last week, this is quite an adventure jumping on this thing and trying to figure it all out between building your rig and putting on the laps. I give a lot of appreciation to all these guys that do this good. This takes a lot of skill and a lot of time. But
Hey,
glad for
you know-
this and having fun.
Well, you don't look out of place at all tonight. You had a pretty good qualifying effort. And again, some of those guys you're up there with, they've spent a lot of time doing this over the years.
Yeah, they've sure got to jump on me about 4 to 5 years. We picked this up last Tuesday, so I feel like we've made an accomplishment. But hopefully this COVID-19 deal starts and we get some real racing going. Can't wait to get going.
Now, tell us about a guy who's never done this before, who all of a sudden, I mean, you're a professional stock car driver. Now you're going simulating. Tell us about the jump into that and the kind of adjustments you had to make.
I'm for sure the least computer guy that you could think about. I had my buddies at Isons help me out. I had my brother-in-law help me out too, and just takes a lot of time with this thing. But once you get kind of used to it, you kind of develop a line and a rhythm, and you just kind of get into that rhythm. And the next thing you know, you're racing. So yep, here we are.
Seems like the more you do it, the more it feels like it's a real car.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Good stuff. Well, you got to go back, Green Shay. Thanks for joining us. Good luck here the rest of the feature.
All right, thanks guys. Have a nice race.
Yeah, Shea Gemmell was absolutely, I have to agree, Jamie, improved a lot compared to last race, and he showed good speed. Here's the thing. He's starting from about 19th spot for this green flag in a race that's been controlled by the Lapseviches so far in the first 46.
And again, Caden coming off that win last week. Race number 1 of this series. He's on the outside. Trayton, the younger brother, on the inside. Nick Ramsey in row 2 along with lights out Mike Bentley. Trayton gets the jump. Caden will duck into line behind him. And the first side-by-side battle on the speedway now is Ramsey. He keeps
big crash in the corner. Jade Franklin spun around. Caution is out. Joe Lawrence was also shuffled up the racetrack. Big time trouble about sent on back off the green flag.
Just got a glimpse of Jordan Lawrence's car driving away from the scene of the crime, and he is going to need a virtual crowbar to get that thing straightened out. Maybe the virtual sawzall. Here we get a look at it. Franklin, a little contact with DiVienzo, and when he made contact with Lawrence, he went up towards the wall, and I believe might have been the 31 of Rick Spencer Walt who hit Lawrence and turned him on his roof. There you see the contact from DiVienzo. Franklin up the speedway. Lawrence nowhere to go. Cars get rolling again, but some big damage to the 78 of Jordan Lawrence.
The machine just had no idea what was about to happen. It almost looked like there was a mix of an attempt to make it 3 wide, but at the same time a attempt to already defend the line since they were already arcing their way in. And you basically only have a couple tenths of a second maybe to react to moments like that, and it just popped up right there with that incident to bring us back to the caution flag. 100 to go this upcoming time by. Have to say though, tonight, I know a lot of fans are watching along tonight, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or Speed 51 this evening, Jamie. Lots of fans watching along tonight. And of course, many fans happy to see not just the drivers getting a chance to show what they can do tonight here at Richmond, but the sponsors getting a chance to be on the cars that are performing well tonight.
Yeah, definitely great to see the teams and sponsors of the series all represented here this evening. And now we'll welcome in our third place runner, Nick Ramsey. Can you hear us?
I got you.
How are things tonight for that 07? Jack Van Hendricks, did you get a raise after last week's run?
Not yet, to be determined after tonight.
Good third place run. What's the game plan right now? Those Lapsevich are pretty tough up front.
Yeah, right now we're just kind of cruising, keeping our tires cool, not burning them off, trying to keep these guys behind us.
How tough was it that long green flag run? Did the right rear really start to go on you?
It did. It was starting to get really, really loose on exit. I was just trying to be easy with it, letting these guys in front of me go, trying to keep the guys behind.
How big of a difference is it this week? You don't have that last chance. You don't have that car refresh, if you will.
A little bit more nerve-wracking, trying to kind of keep my distance from everybody, keep it clean, be there at the end.
Well, we got less than 100 laps to go. We'll let you tighten up those belts and get ready to go back green.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Very interesting run so far, and Ramsey has shown so far he is very consistent on these virtual racetracks so far. He's been able to stay where he started for this feature race tonight, Jamie. I think he's in a good position to, if he can keep up, maybe pass for the lead off the screen.
Thompson Motorsports photography entry takes off. Also, Rick McCall Racing, one of the sponsors on that 32 machine, and the younger of the Lapseviches gets the jump down into one. Oh, Ramsey pushes up high, stays off Lapsevich. Now here comes Cole Tim, contact. That was a scramble down the backstretch.
Everyone able to gather it back up. Tim gives space to Ramsey to settle on down. Ramsey, though, side by side with Ray Morneau. Morneau, the Windsor Essex County-based driver, trying to push hard on the outside. 07, though, with the better run on the bottom side. Cole Tim now joins the fun once more as he bobbles like crazy off the corner.
Tim now swings to the inside. He's got Ryan Dyson right on his back quarter panel. The 89C Chenoweth on the outside. There's the Sauble Beach Road Warrior Grandy Gressel. He's running on the outside as well. They're 2x2x2, ready to be loaded into the arc.
2x2 pickup sticks, so you say, as these drivers still fight hard for fourth on back. Morneau still defending up on the top side. Ramsey still trying to rotate on the bottom side, all while Tim waits patiently. Well, he had to play defense soon because Greshel, Chenoweth, along with Ryan Dyson are all now joining this fight.
And how about Ramsey and Morneau going at it? These two have been going at it since they were kids in go-karts. Down into 3 and 4, they'll pile. Ramsey's still down low. Little Ray up top. The 03 and the 07. Here comes Cole Tim. It's a 3-wide dance down into 1. Will it work? Morneau backs out of it. Ramsey scoots up the racetrack, and a nice move by Cole Tim.
Morneau, though, slammed the wall hard on the 03. He ducks down to the bottom side, 3 wide right behind him. Chenoweth and Dale Shaw get on through. Camrath, though, slides right up the racetrack. Move Camrath down a couple more positions. But the problem's now for Morneau, he's got similar damage to what happened to Jordan House in the last race, in the qualifier. House is at the back end of this choo-choo train and just got tangled back with Camrath. Camrath's around. I
think House just turned Camrath, got him into the inside wall. We stay great. Well, we're going to have to go caution now. Camrath, it looks like the Polar Blair Wicket in the 97 running now.
Completely go up to the wall. I don't know, realized he was leaving nearly a full lane available. And House may have not liked that too much and seen an opportunity maybe to try and make a pass. If not, didn't realize that he was about to hit that rear end right about here. Follows the line, just accidentally hooks him in. Around goes Camrath as he tries to lock it up.
Yeah, I'm not. Five, as he gets turned. House probably some damage in the mix as well. We're gonna get one more look at it here. House, you see right underneath the spoiler of Camrath. Well, Camrath left him a lane at the top and then tried to close it about a third of the way down the straightaway. I just don't think House could get.
Yeah, just that's where some of the experience can come in again for sim racing and knowing the differences in distance between where your car is and the others. House, for understandable reasons with the OL, and there's a little frustration back. Camerath looked like just gave the door that time to the 8 machine as he passed him on by. So the interesting thing for those just tuning in as well, that is developed in this race, mind you, Mike Bentley up to 3rd, Cole Tim to 4th, Ramsey still holding on to a top 5 position at this point. That 51's quietly been running strong tonight, Jamie.
Well, speaking of the 51, we will welcome in Mike Bentley. You there, Mike? Mike Bentley, it's Jamie in the broadcast booth. Can you hear us?
I hear you. You did a good job.
Looks like you might be having some technical issues. Apologies for that, Jamie.
Give this one more try. Mike, can you hear us?
It's just not there.
Hey guys, you got a copy?
Yeah, we got you now. Tell us about your race so far. A good run with you in the 07. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bide my time out here and just kind of save that right rear tire. And you know, these guys are actually racing really good tonight, so it's been a fun race. And yeah, just saving the car for the end here.
What do you got to do to beat those Lapsevich boys up front?
We're doing some gentlemen's
These guys are pretty good. You know, obviously their records and wins show that. So I'm just going to try and follow these guys through. We've got lots of laps left and see what happens.
Well, wish Mike all the best as we get down to less than 100 to go. Mike Bentley, driver of the 51 machine, sitting 3rd right now.
Thanks, guys.
So to recap the top positions at the moment for those tuning in, Traded Lapsevich is in the lead, coming to 87 laps to go. Caden Lapsevich in 2nd. It's been a majority of the night been that way. Bentley in 3rd, Cole Tim in 4th. Ramsey is in 5th. Ryan Dyson, Andrew Greshel, Chetowith, Shaw, Stotty round out the top 10. Keep in mind, Shaw, Stotty, and Tim, some of the biggest movers in this race, all of them had to come from the last chance qualifier and have carved their way into the top 10 again.
And I believe, Justin, we're getting close to about 10 green flag laps on these tires. So if we get a caution in the next little bit, it's going to be a question of who's going to come and who's not. Then again, we also have that mandatory fuel stop coming. So this should be good. Trayton and Caden Lapsevich on the front row. Trayton's the control car. Bentley and Cole Tim in row 2 as they get after it down the front stretch.
Once again, the Lapseviches with a great start, already single file, but Bentley having to play defense. He holds up Tim as Tim moves to the bottom side. The first side-by-side is for 5th. Ramsey stuck on the bottom. Ryan Dyson making a move while Tim dive bombs underneath Bentley off of 3 and 4.
Tim really had the front end of that car eating some asphalt down into 3 and 4. He's to the inside of Mike Bentley. Into 1 and 2 they work. Tim on the bottom, Bentley up top. Now Bentley will climb in the line behind. He tries to cross over down the backstretch. Mike Bentley looks to the inside of Tim. Tim's going to close the door. Bentley maybe with some contact getting in there. Tim wiggles. Here comes Bentley back on the bottom. Great racing between the 51 and the 57.
Tim tries to get the bump back. Here comes the slide. Bentley gathers it back up as he'll go way out of the group. Rest of the drivers pass right on by. Bentley drops all the way back to 9th position and has lost the bottom in the process.
He gets in a line right behind Sean Chenoweth and right in front of Shea Gamble. And tough break. He's got some work to do now to get back towards the front. There you see Nick Ramsey in a freight train. The view from Shea Gamble's car looking forward. Or sorry, from Nick Ramsey's car now looking back to Andrew Gressel, the South Beach Road Warrior in the 81. Down the front stretch they work. The D part of this D-shaped 3/4 mile oval. Into one is Dyson. Chasing Cole Tim. Nick Ramsey, Gressel. There's Dale Shaw now up into the top 10.
Shaw had to put a lot of work to get himself in the top 10. As this is going on, the Lapceviches are pulled away by nearly a full second from third on back. Keep in mind, though, Tim, now the fastest car on the racetrack with open space. All while the Lapceviches are in a situation where they can conserve their tires for at least the next 5-10 laps as they try and keep the gap maintained off of 4.
And that competition caution for fuel stop coming soon. There you see the Lapceviches up front. That's the view from third place, Cole Tim. And works for the 9 of Chase Elliott, Monday to Fridays. When race season's going on, he's about 10 car lengths behind Caden Lapcevich. And how about this? Caden Lapcevich putting some heat on his brother. Now, the 83 and the 89, couple of Flamborough veterans going at it. Dale Shaw up high, Sean Chenoweth on the bottom. That happens right in front of Mike Bentley, right behind Andrew Gressel.
As that's going on, though, Caden Lapcevich starting to get a little bit pressing right now for the Rick McCall Racing drivers. Went underneath Traden Lapcevich through 1 and 2. This time, a bit further back. It can take multiple laps to set up a pass. This time, nearly gave a shot to the back end of the white and blue 32.
Brothers doing battle. Now through 3 and 4. Again, they're both taking part in the Rowdy Energy eSERIES Saturday Night Super Late Model Series. Broadcast here on Speed 51. Lapcevich and Lapcevich. Through 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Trayton leads. Caden runs second. Caden looking to go to victory lane twice in a row after that win last Thursday night. They're in lockstep off turn 3 and 4. And the choo-choo train continues down into turn 1 with Trayton driving the engine in the 76 of Caden on the caboose.
As this has gone on, though, as these brothers have started to fight, the gap between them and Cole Tim has shrunk. Now it's only about 0.8 of a second down to about 7 between them and Cole Tim. Cole Tim last time by, near dead even though in lap times, as he's now trying a different line. Diamond's off the corner up turn 2 to try and gain momentum for the backstretch.
So far doesn't look like he's being able to eat up the leads from Trayton and Caden Lapcevich out front. That gap stays solid. Cole Tim running third right now, and here's a scramble. Looks like both Chenoweth and the 83 of Shaw are going to complete the pass on the South Beach Road Warrior Andrew Gressel in the CUSW number 81 machine. That's Dale Shaw, who led almost the entire race before running out of fuel last week, your former APC Series champ. There's a view from Gressel's machine out the nose. And looking at the back of Dale Shaw's 83. There's Ryan Dyson sitting fourth, having a good run as he tries to reel in Cole Tim.
Give a shout out to Ryan Dyson. He was one of the quickest drivers in both practice sessions in preparation for tonight, Jamie. And he was in final warm-up inside second position again. Only driver who was quicker than him, the man in the lead, Traden Lapcevich. So Ryan Dyson, he was talked about by Traden, in fact, as one of the drivers to watch for the first APC eSERIES event. Now, the brothers and everybody else, though, are going to have to deal with Trevor Culver and co.
They work their way around Trevor Culver in the number 1 machine. They'll all get to the bottom of him. There's Nick Ramsey fighting with Sean Chenoweth. How about this 89? We talked to him last week.
Trouble turn 4. Jordan House just got collected in an incident. And it might be a retaliatory one. Camrath ended up getting involved, and Camrath in the process, as you can see, is upside down.
Yeah, that's a tough break.
And we'll have to see what happened here. They did get together a little bit before. I don't know if this was completely intentional. Just looked like he sent it too hard to the bottom side, and then bam.
Yeah, Camrath was okay till it went up the wall the second time and got all flipped over there. He goes to the bottom. Looks like he was going to make the move and then bailed at the last minute, and by then House was down on the bottom. It didn't look like Andy was trying.
Absolutely, like you said, looked like almost just a mistake on his part on the quarter entry, going too hard to the point he would clip that apron. Fortunately, House, severe damage. Camrath, a DNF for tonight. By the way, this all knocks out the need for competition caution since we're underneath that 75 to go mark at this point. Everyone can make enough fuel from here.
Yeah, now the field coming back out. We'll see if the Lapceviches hold serve as the scramble off pit road continues. And I believe Caden got out in front of Trayton, so a lead change on pit road.
And Caden Lapcevich had important things when it comes to pit stops here at the iRacing service. How you line things up. Both drivers lined up pretty well coming in the boxes, but Lapcevich, probably knowing that he might have a bit of that window to take a little less fuel maybe, or have that slightly quicker stop, just was able to get it back on the gas much quicker with a bit of a quicker stop than his brother.
Well, we'll bring in our new leader, Caden Lapcevich. Good job getting off pit road quick. What was the secret there?
I think I got one of those really lucky, quick pit stops. So, I think we got a good piece here tonight. I think the way I'm driving is good, and how I'm working this track is I'm doing pretty good with it. So I don't know. We still got a long way to go here, and Trayton fires off really good. So I don't know. We'll see.
Are we going to see the rolls flip-flop on these restarts? Is that the game plan? You're going to get out front, he's going to tuck in behind you?
Hopefully. I know he doesn't like be not leading, so I know he'll pressure me and he'll run me hard, but he'll run me clean. So I don't know. We'll have a good battle. Hopefully we can battle it out to the end here.
Hey, good run last week. Top 10 finish in the big U.S. short track series on Saturday night. Tell us about that run.
Yeah, it was good. I had another good run there, and we're getting better there every week. It's a tough group, but we'll see if we can do better this week.
And where can they find you racing this Saturday night in the Rowdy eSERIES?
Southern National. It's like 7:30, I think it is, on Saturday.
Right now, we'll let you get back to green here. Good luck.
Thank you.
One of the things that was picked up upon by one of the members of our broadcast crew tonight, and once again, credit to the amount of work put in by our entire crew tonight. Lapcevich was a little bit quicker on the right side tires to be able to get that extra little bit of an advantage. Now we'll see if the track position holds.
Caden on the bottom, Trayton up top. Caden will get the jump, clears Trayton. Trayton tries the crossover down into one. Hey, Caden was right. He doesn't like Big Brother leading. He's going after him, coming through 1 and 2. Caden able to get it down to the yellow line. Trayton will have to tuck in the line and follow him down the backstretch. Cole Tim goes off third. Now Ryan Dyson side by side with Chenoweth. That's the race for fourth. Now Chenoweth will give up the spot. Chenoweth tries the crossover now.
Chenoweth, one of the quiet big movers tonight, a plus 12 as he dives underneath the bottom side, makes the move for P number 4. Ryan Dyson not able to get the crossover back down the back straightaway, but Chenoweth now a plus 12 on the race. Keep in mind, though, with the drivers just behind, the 11 of Jamie Dyson took 2 tires under the caution flag. He's stuck on the top side along with Dale Shaw in the side-by-side battle behind this.
Well, we'll see what that does for him as the laps roll on. He gained some, obviously, some track position by doing it, but we'll see if it costs him on the stopwatch. Here comes Dale Shaw. And here comes the 11, brother Jamie Dyson as well. Now Nick Ramsey on the move. He's given Jamie Dyson all he can handle. You remember Nick Ramsey ran 3rd for most of the early part of the race before getting shuffled back. He's got Mike Bentley coming with him as well.
Bentley wanted to recover a lot of his track position after sliding up out of the group from contact before. Quickly makes work of Jamie Dyson. So the 11 machine went from top 5 off the drop of the green flag on the 2-tire call all the way back running to P9 to the back end of the choo-choo train. As off and away goes Nick Ramsey to try and close in on the rest of the group.
Yeah, Ramsey having a good run that 07. Oh, contact. Shaw gets into the back of Ryan Dyson. They all lift. Now Shaw loses momentum. He comes under fire. Nick Ramsey splits the middle. What a move by the 07. Gotta watch it. Got the 51 down underneath him. Now Dyson tries to fight back. Here comes Shaw to the bottom. Ramsey and Bentley still side by side for that spot into 3.
And a little bit of a shuffle up the track this time for Ramsey. Will he be able to carry off the momentum off the straightaway? No. Still stuck at the edge of the corner panel is Bentley. Bentley tries to push him up the track. He makes a slight bit of contact. The 51 moves back up into the top 5. Now it's the matter of hold on. He can try and hold on while Dale Shaw looks for 6th.
Shaw, the Guelph driver, to the inside of Nick Ramsey. There's the 28 of Ryan Dyson. Jamie Dyson in the 11 right behind him. A couple of our APC officials. Now, Shaw will clear the 07 of Ramsey, give the spot to the 83. Now he bounces it off the wall just slightly. Ramsey's now back on the attack on Shaw.
Shaw still looking to try and hold on, though. Contact up in front of him of the wall for Bentley. Will Shaw now be able to try to attack Bentley? Bentley with the wide arc into 1. Can't get underneath is Shaw. Shaw checks up Ramsey. Ramsey sliding off the quarter. Everybody else checks up behind the 07. Side by side now taking place as DiVienzo now all of a sudden re-enters the top 9.
Yeah, DiVienzo and Gemmel now taking a run under Jamie Dyson. Down the front stretch they work into 3 and 4. Now down the back they work DiVienzo rolling on the bottom. He's got Jamie Dyson kicked high now. Shaw will pick up a spot, gets by Mike Bentley. Now Shaw's going to try to go after that lead trio.
Everyone racing crazy with 53 to go this time by. Shaw now looking to close in a clean space. Gap between him and Tim is about 1.5 seconds, but it's crazy bonanza time, about 9th on back still. JB Dyson on the 2 tires, now back on the defensive. DiVienzo with a better run, had to get off the gas though as he nearly scraped the safer barrier heading into turn 1 now.
How about this for a story? After struggling in week number 1, Sean Chenoweth all the way up into 2nd spot now, Justin. Chenoweth is on the charge. You see DiVienzo there trying to get by Jamie Dyson. Got the 3 of Shea Gemmel and Blair Wickett in that mix as well. DiVienzo on the attack, the 2nd generation driver for Guelph. Now a car high as the field will clear that. That's the 22 of Petey Shepard going down a lap.
Now Shepard was the driver who got involved in that tango with Culver, but the lead, as you talked about, has closed down and quickly. Fastest car on the track last time by was Chenoweth. They have ran away from Traden Lapsevich. Up towards the front, Chenoweth trying to set up the pass on Caden Lapsevich off of turn 4. Better run off the corner. Will he be able to get side by side is the question.
So far hasn't been able to do it yet, but Chenoweth is there stalking his prey. He's got the youngster from Grimsby, Caden Lapsevich, in his gun sights. He's weighed him, he's measured him. Now he's just trying to figure out a way by.
Lapsevich still defends on the bottom side, slides up the racetrack. Traffic up ahead. Trevor Culver has to move out of the way. Chenoweth try to go for the high arc. Culver forces them on the middle line. Chenoweth goes for the dive. Kaden Lapsevich slides up the racetrack, avoids the safer barrier. Back single file for 3 and 4 this time.
Chenoweth took a run at him, tried to get it done, was unable to. He'll tuck back in line behind Kaden Lapsevich now. Off turn 4 and down the front stretch they work. Lapsevich still your leader, but Chenoweth all over the 76.
Chenoweth, though, with an error good launch of the corner, forced to check up, though. Kaden Lapsevich was the faster of the two drivers last time by. Chenoweth continues to try and arc it off the corner. Slides big time, bobble, and a big time save across the start and finish line.
Sean Chenoweth is giving Kaden Lapsevich all that he can handle, and I guarantee you nobody saw this one coming. Chenoweth stalking his prey down the backstretch. He's like a pit bull on a pork chop. Chenoweth sees Lapsevich wiggle just a bit. The 89C is going to take a spin to the inside down the front stretch.
Chenoweth side by side. Faster entry, though, for Kaden Lapsevich. Kaden Lapsevich still holds on to the grip, though, as they're back single file down the back straightaway. Chenoweth now has to set things up once again. Again with the higher arc. Last time he tried to be bobbled loose. This time it's Kaden Lapsevich on the slide.
Oh, and a good head of steam by Chenoweth heading down into 1. Can't do anything to draw up alongside Kaden Lapsevich. Lapsevich now blocks that advance, but it causes him to push a bit high. Will Chenoweth be able to get a run down into 3? He will, to the bottom. Chenoweth piles it in on the inside.
Chenoweth, can he get clear? Yes, he can. New race leader, Sean Chenoweth, with 44 laps to go. 43 this time by. Kaden Lapsevich, though, will he give it up without a fight? Nearly hit the back bumper, and the caution is out. And Blair Wickett went around in turn 4 to put us back under caution, and what a time for that to happen. Has elected to stay on the bottom side as lap traffic. I think that was a factor.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Culver pushed up or Blair was just crowding him just a bit, but ended up going off the nose.
Fortunate, though, as pit stops get back underway now. Should note, though, at the back end of the field, Carson Nagy just pile drove Brady Smith and crushed his front nose. His race may be out of contention now in 22nd.
So again, this will be interesting. Most of these guys don't do live pit stops. So we'll see Chenoweth. They've got the left side up now. Third stop of the day for most of these cars. Chenoweth's going to scream out pit road. Will he hold serve getting off the pits? It looks like he will. Kaden Lapsevich comes out second. I believe Trayton was only as high as 4th at best.
Yeah, decent sequence for Ryan Dyson. Remember Jamie Dyson took 2? Ryan Dyson. Back about 6-7 positions in the span of 20-30 laps. The Dysons are not afraid to gamble. As you'll see here on the replay, see the right side's up on the track. Keep in mind, no left side tires. So once again, off and away. Jamie as well in that caution. So the Dysons are really risking things here tonight.
Well, we'll welcome in Ryan Dyson, get a quick word with him. 2 tires, tell us about the call.
I got to thank Jamie for that one. He last time 5, and he didn't lose any time on it, and so I figured we'd try. We got a fast car, and all the practices worked. We just track positions hard to come by, so see what we can do here.
Do you think we're done with pit road for the evening?
I don't know about everybody else, but I am.
Had a good run. Obviously, didn't start out well. I believe you clipped the wall in the early going. Has it affected the car at all?
Lap 1, I don't know who it was. Someone got to my inside there pretty late into the corner, and somehow I managed to save the car, and then someone else got into me. I was looking at the inside wall again, but all 4 wheels are still pointing in the right direction, so no, she feels pretty good still, so we're going to see what we can do late here.
How big would it be to beat all these real life race car drivers here tonight?
Well, I'm kind of offended there, Jamie Mosley. I'm a real life race. No, it'd be pretty awesome. These APC series drivers, the best of the best of business. So, obviously, it's not the real life APC series. Hopefully, we can maybe get there one day. But, you know, we've been part of the series every single day since it started. So it's pretty cool to be out here with these guys.
Well, I wish you were like the rest of the way. Ryan Dyson joined us, driver the 28, a gutsy 2-tire stop. He's the new race leader.
Thanks, guys.
And remember, Ryan Dyson as well races at Delaware Speedway in real life. Had his truck last season, has been preparing that throughout the winter time. Now, it's going to get really interesting because he mentioned it. Lots of drivers might not come down again.
Well, Justin, I don't think it's going to work. I just don't think there's enough there for him to hold these guys off. We'll see what happens. Chenoweth took 4, so did Lapsevich and Lapsevich. Here they come with the assault on Ryan Dyson. Out of turn 2, Chenoweth gets that 89C, tries to cut it to the bottom. It won't go all the way.
Big trouble.
Yeah, one of the
trouble on the back
wall.
straight away. Yep, 4 in the inside wall, in fact, for the quick caution flag. And this happened in the side-by-side battle about 7/8 on back. Cole Tim.
Ryan Dyson's strategy might pay off if this happens time and time again. You can see some contact. Bentley got bumped. And then you see Cole Tim. Yeah, he just overcorrected. It shot up the wall. And Nick Ramsey, some heavy contact. I believe Tyler DiVienzo ended up on his bonnet. Wow, some wrecked race cars here. There's Ramsey piling into DiVienzo, pinning him between the wall and himself. Wow, I didn't even notice that other car in there.
To just snap loose that hasn't made a mistake all race and come right across your nose in the span of about 1/10 of a second, and that's what happened for Tim. He did have some right side damage prior to that. That may have been a factor of the suspension, but man, the driver who got involved, that error one you're referring to, by the way, was Jade Franklin, who again is snake bit and bad luck in a late going of a race so far this season in the APC eSERIES.
So there'll be 35 laps left to go, this time by the stripe, so regular distance for a Saturday night shootout, Justin. And Ryan Dyson's strategy might pay off, and maybe we'll bring in one of the other drivers up here in the top 5. Jamie Dyson, I'm not sure whether you're 5th or 5th or 6th. You're right up there, though. You're having a great run, my friend.
Yeah, I'm in P6 here, it looks like. So if I could have only lost one spot there on the restart, I would have restarted on the inside. So that would have been pretty good. But I'll take 6 here. Took a little tire strategy, so hopefully it's going to pay off here with a 35 lap run to the end.
Now, this is the second time you've taken 2 tires, correct?
Yes, it is. I kind of had 30, 40 lap tires and everybody at the front there because I was at the back due to a little spin. So I figured take 2. I got a little bit of an advantage on my left side, so it's working out so far.
Are you done pitting for the night?
I'm not going to say never, but I'm not planning on it because we're at the front here. We'll see how it goes from here, but I would say we don't see this 2020 insurance machine back in the pits.
You gonna be able to take it to the front here the last 35 laps?
Well, that's the plan, but these guys are pretty quick up here. Some of them got 4, so I think I'm going to be a little bit of a disadvantage. 2 to 4 tire ratio here, but yeah, we'll give her a shot. I'll be happy with a solid top 10.
Hey, the folks were just looking at an in-car shot of you. You're looking good there, buddy. You're surviving the quarantine pretty well.
Yeah, you gotta thank Ryan. He designed fires, so Ryan does a great job with all that stuff.
Well, Jamie Dyson joining us here on the channel, getting all set to go, and Justin shouldn't be much longer now before we let it rip.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Jamie Dyson currently in 6th position. Ryan Dyson in the lead. Sean Chenoweth in 2nd. The Lapsevich is in row 2. Caden in 3rd. Trayden in 4th. Jamie Dyson, once again, reset, is in 6th. Dale Shaw is in 5th. Gemmel. Rick Spencer Walt is in 8th. Mike Bentley and Ray Morto round out the top 10. Where in the world did Spencer Walt come from?
Yeah, Barry Aurelia corridor would be my guess. But he's had a solid day, just hasn't hit anything. That's been the key. We'll see what happens here. Oh, some games on the restart. Now Ryan Dyson takes off. He checked up the field there. Chenoweth files into 2nd. Trayton Lapsevich 3rd. Caden Lapsevich to the inside of Jamie Dyson. That's the race for 4th. They're single file all the way back to about 5th spot. Dyson still holding off a challenge.
Still maintaining pace as the 43 spun at the back end of the field. Still side by side for the race lead. Dyson trying to hold on to the top side. Chenoweth fighting on the bottom side. Faster run on the corner entry. Here comes Trayden Lapsevich to make it a 3-car fight as Chenoweth gets clear.
Dyson's car scooted up the speedway just a bit on exit. Open the door up for Caden Lapsevich to take a run at him as well. Those 2 tires not holding up right now. Lapsevich to the inside. Got Dale Shaw in his back pocket. Ryan Dyson could be in trouble. This 2-tire stop could end him up in about 5th by the time he gets back in line.
And this is similar to what happened, remember, to Jamie Dyson when he took 2 tires in the middle of the pack. It took them at least 10-15 laps to get into a rhythm, and now Caden Lapsevich and Dale Shaw taking advantage. Dale Shaw, though, wanting to dive underneath Lapsevich. Lapsevich forced to send it hard on the bottom side, able to defend as Shaw clips the apron.
Yeah, Shaw putting a lot of heat on that 76 of Caden Lapsevich out front. Sean Chenoweth in the 89C out of Plattsville, Ontario, sponsored by London Recreational Racing and Hitman Hot Rods. He's showing the way out front in that beautiful 89. Just going nuts in the grandstand right now.
That entire fan base has to be roaring on its feet. What a drive for Chenoweth, a plus 15 from the drop of the green flag. Fastest car on the racetrack. That time by the only one outside of Caden Lapsevich and Dale Shaw to be in the 21.5s. He's found a rocket for Richmond, and he's pulling away in fast for the rest of the fighters.
Looks like a battle just behind Chenoweth. Caden Lapsevich now has company. Dale Shaw is there. This is the race for 3rd now. Shaw piles to the bottom. Lapsevich up top. Now Shaw is going to be able to steal the position away from Caden Lapsevich. Shuffle Caden back to 4th. Your defending winner from last week. 25 laps left to go this time by.
Question's going to be, though, who's going to end up taking the checkered flag? We've seen crazy things happen before. Shaw, he's quickly closing in, one of the fastest cars now on the track. Trayden Lapsevich is starting to struggle a bit in the length going into this race. Gap between the two of them about 3-4 car lengths. Close it down another 1/10 of a second or so as the Thompson photography machine able to send it hard through 3 and 4 and launch it down the front.
Trayden getting all he can right now out of that machine, but does he have enough? He's got company on his back quarter panel as well. Trayden Lapsevich coming under fire from Dale Shaw now. After Shaw got by Caden Lapsevich, he made short work of that gap, and he is there. Just beating down the back door on Trayden Lapsevich.
Dale Shaw looking to set it hard, just at the very back, chinny of the edges of the back bumper. Shaw, will he be patient or will he be the aggressor this time? Backs up the corner. Better launch off 4. Make it side by side coming down the front.
The Shaw Motorsports Wellington System 83 swings to the inside. He'll clear Trayden Lapsevich. We'll see if Lapsevich can make the crossover move. He tries it, but Shaw able to get up on that wheel just enough to keep that 32 at bay for the time being, but he is right there. Trayden Lapsovich on the charge after Dale Shaw.
Fastest car last time by was Shaw. In fact, though, will Trayden Lapsovich be able to try and get a run back? Nearly tapped the wall down the back straightaway. This time a clean run through 3 and 4. The gap between them and the race leader in Chenoweth is down to about 6 car lengths as they drive by Shea Gemma, who's slow on the bottom.
Yeah, less than 20 laps to go. Your leader still Sean Chenoweth. Dale Shaw in second. Trayden Lapsovich third. And it's only going to be a matter of time before Dale Shaw finds his way to that 89. Does he have enough time to get there? Well, he probably has enough time to get there. Does he have enough time to get by?
Yep, it's easy to catch someone. It's difficult to pass, and the more laps that pass on by, the more the tires could get worn and the more difficult it can be. It's not going to be done, Jamie, by just closing up by about a couple 100ths of a second each time. He's going to need to close in a half a tenth to a tenth each time by to have enough time to make work on the 89.
Well, now you can tell visibly he is coming. Dale Shaw is running down Sean Chenoweth. It's only going to be a matter of time before he is on the doorstep of that 89C. Chenoweth leads him out of 3 and 4 along the wall and down into turn 1. Chenoweth a little higher arc. Shaw pokes it in on the bottom. Chenoweth half a car length up off turn 2 and down the back stretch. They roll again through 3 and 4. Chenoweth again keeping that car about half a car width off the bottom. You see this great view from the cockpit of Dale Shaw's car. This is what Shaw is looking at. Chenoweth, some big sparks, maybe clip the wall on the way down into 1. Again, Shaw keeping that thing right on the bottom and slowly reeling him in.
Slowly but surely, but they have lap traffic up ahead. That's going to be potentially a factor. Remember, some of the traffic has elected to stay on the bottom tonight. Ramsey does so this time. Lets the leader go real quickly. The thing is, though, Shaw has to send it hard on the middle line. Ramsey clipped the apron. Shaw able to make the pass, though. Still closed in half a car length despite the traffic. Still 2 more lap cars ahead of the leaders.
Dale Shaw, who said all the time that his daughter spends sleeping, he spends simulating. We'll see if that can pay off here. Again, about 1.5 miles short last week on fuel. Can he get it done here tonight? Can he catch Sean Chenoweth? This is one of the drivers that Shaw had to race against and had to learn how to beat when he was first growing up at Flamborough Speedway. Now he's got to catch one of his mentors here down into turn 1.
They keep on trading lap times too as well. Last time by 21.978 for Chenoweth. Dale Shaw 22.005. 2 fastest cars on the racetrack. The time before that went Shaw's direction. They continue to flip-flop on the timesheet. Chenoweth still staying in focus, coming to 11 to go this upcoming time by.
Chenoweth again, that half a car length off the bottom. He'll roll off turn 2 and down the backstretch. Now he's got to contend with All In Jay Dewar, the London driver in the Once Upon a Child machine. Chenoweth gets to the bottom. Dewar gets out of his way. We'll see what happens as they get down to 1. My guess is you'll just see Jay Dewar move over so Dale Shaw can get gone.
Well, and caution flag is out. And Jamie Dyson got turned around in the middle of the racetrack. This changes everything, Jamie. And it might have been lap traffic that was being a factor for the 11. We talked about this before with drivers on the bottom. It, I don't think, was necessarily fully the car he got involved with this problem. There was also a car, Jamie, that went off the pit lane.
There are at least 25 laps of green, if not more, in on this run, Justin, on these tires. So now it becomes a question of what do these drivers do? Who's the first guy that takes tires? Because you know somebody's going to. Here's Jamie Dyson getting down into 3 and 4. You can see the 07 of Nick Ramsey pushing up just a tad and turn Jamie Dyson around. That Ramsey car badly damaged.
And it looked like Lawrence actually gave a tap as well. I think the 07 was trying to, well, had to take it a little bit higher of an entry than he may have expected. Just couldn't stick the yellow line and just accidentally tapped the left rear. Jamie Dyson tried all he could to save it, but now this changed the whole complexion of the race. Many competitors already said they were. Trayden Lapsevich, Rick Burbridge, Mike Bentley, Cole Tim, though, did pit.
Well, that's one of those situations where the worst place to be could be possibly the lead, because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you come to pit road, you're going to see everybody else stay out, because that's the way they can beat you. And if you don't come to pit road, you're going to see some fast cars come in and take tires and try to cut through the field. Good move by the 32. I don't think he was going to beat Chenoweth and Shaw straight up with 7 to go.
I agree on that point, absolutely. Here's the difficult part, though, Jamie. He's going to be one of the quickest cars on the track now. That's no doubt. Is there enough time, though, to be able to get back up to the lead cars, though, in the span of, say, 5 or 6 laps when we get back underway? That's the question. It can be difficult to try and cut through that many drivers in so little time.
For sure. It also depends on how many green-white checkers we have as well.
It actually does give him a little bit of advantage if it gets to that point, or say it gets a little dicey like we've seen off some of these short runs in the first 5-10 laps with 3 wide battling. That allows him to reel them in much more quicker and might allow him the chance to take advantage of some of the mistakes of some of the competitors.
How about Sean Chenoweth? No sim race until about 2 weeks to go. And now he's about to take these guys to school, or going to see what he can do to hold off Dale Shaw for the win.
Now, he is one of the biggest improving drivers of this entire night compared to the first race. Absolutely had a really rough beginning to his sim racing career in the APC eSERIES. It's night and day, the performance he's shown tonight. He's been much more cleaner. He's been more consistent on his marks. He has made things a challenge for some of the drivers since having to charge his way up through the field. He's definitely learned a lot in the past week or so by being able to adapt to the sim, it seems. And now it's the matter of, can he hold on with the 1 to go signal this time?
Dale Shaw in a tough spot. He's got to keep pace with him on this restart. Shaw in the 83 again. He dominated last week's race before running out of fuel with a little less than 3 laps to go. Fuel's not a concern here right now. We're looking to see how far back those new tires are, and they are a long ways back, Justin.
Yep, P13 for Trayden Lapsevich and the rest of that grouping. Thought to be a show, though, at the front.
Green flag's out. How about Caden Lapsevich? He goes with Chenoweth. They'll both clear Shaw. Now here comes Caden Lapsevich to the inside Chenoweth. He's going to pile it in on the bottom. Chenoweth, nothing he can do about it. There's Shaw as well. They're side by side for second as Caden Lapsevich tries to go back to back.
What a dive to the bottom side by Chenoweth. Forced to brake check with Shaw. Both drivers know with a better run off the corner. Can Caden Lapsevich hold on? 4 to go, coming to 3 to go this time by as Lapsevich rides the yellow line while Chenoweth babies the throttle off the corner.
Lapsevich, Chenoweth, Shaw. Here comes Ryan Dyson trying to put the heat on Dale Shaw. A little contact between those two. Now on the backstretch last time by Chenoweth. Does he have anything
caution?
left? 3 laps to go.
And Blair Wickett, Jamie, just brought the caution out. Getting help in the back part of the field for 12th on back. Jade Franklin ends up spinning around the 90. And you see right about there is the contact from the 31 and hard hit for Wickett.
I think you can divide 3 into 2.
No, I don't think you can at that point, especially with that amount of space, but It's time to press the panic button if you're some of these drivers. It's a green-white checker, the first of 5 attempts tonight in this race. Could get interesting, especially with many drivers on old tires. And Trayden Lapcevich already back to 9th in the span of about 3 laps with the help of some of the carnage.
I think he's the first of the fresh tire bunch coming. Again, they all pitted on lap, a bunch of them pitted on lap 145. I don't think we'll see any takers here, though.
Yeah, well, I put it this way, the difference in the split in terms of tires, Jamie, this includes the amount of caution laps that these drivers have had, is about 32 plus laps between the front runners and Trayden Lapcevich along with the others who pit. That is a massive difference in tires, to say the very least. The pace was still near dead even, but the thing is, Trayden Lapcevich is going to be able to come off the corner much more because he's going to have that extra bit of grip to exit the corner.
Well, if you got those fresh tires, you have no thoughts, second thoughts of putting it 3 wide coming off the turn, because you know by the time you get down to the next end, you're going to be beating those 2 cars that you're 3 wide with.
Yeah, I don't blame him if he tries to go 3 wide, mind you, to try and catch up to these drivers. If he gets a couple GWCs, it could get very interesting to see what Trayden Lapcevich can do. But give a shout out to some of the drivers still holding on to top 10 runs. Rick Spencer Walt, he's in 6th position. Jordan House, we remember him getting some big time contact. He's up to 7th. Then you have Andrew Greshel. He's still holding on to an 8th position run at the moment in his Ford. So there's some drivers who have quietly been able to either recover their positions from before, or have quietly had some of the cleanest racing we've seen from them so far in the APC eSERIES.
Definitely, Ray Mornow's had a solid run here tonight as well. A little race at 5th. Josh Stoddy into 10th. So, but up front, I mean, the big surprise, hands down, without a doubt, that 89C is Sean Chenoweth. And we'll see what that London recreational racing machine can do when we go back green. Chenoweth, the Plattsville driver, former winner on tour with the APC series presented by Grisdale. Some other sponsors of the series: Spectra Premium Performance Radiators, Pennzoil, all your lubricant needs. Robert Q Travel, official travel provider of the APC series. And we are all set to go. 1.5 miles to settle it out of turn 4. Lapcevich, the point car. Chenoweth, what will he be able to do? And don't count out the 83 of Dale Shaw.
Early launch of the green flag. Both drivers jumped it perfectly. Door baiting as they head towards turn 1. Caden Lapcevich sends it on the bottom. Chenoweth, though, tries to go for the cross as he just barely misses the back right rear quarter panel.
Crossover didn't work, but Shaw wasn't close enough to fill the gap. Shaw's going to tuck in the line in 3rd. Chenoweth in 2nd. Lapcevich is clear by half a car length out of turn 4. White flag, this time by now Shaw to the outside of Chenoweth. I believe the race is going to be official with the next flag that comes out. And Lapcevich is comfortable and heads him off turn 2. Oh, Dale Shaw, contact with Chenoweth. Chenoweth ends up upside down. It's a parking lot on the backstretch.
And Caden Lapcevich will come home with a 2nd straight victory in the APC eSERIES. What a way to end it. What a way for Lapcevich to take the checker flag. My goodness, what a way to win it.
And Chenoweth and Shaw cost themselves a couple podiums.
Yeah, and that was absolutely horrible luck. And one thing to note, there is the chance of course, it's internet racing, as in racing over the internet, I should rather say. There's the chance for some distance differentials. These drivers got within about 6 inches of one another And unfortunately, they end up getting hooked with the contact right here and just stuck together as they deflect back up into traffic.
Wow, and how about that view from Andrew Gressel? That was almost Newman at Daytona, like he smoked the upside-down car of Chenoweth. And then Shaw took another look. You can see there they get hooked into the fence. Chenoweth's car launches, and Shaw's car is sitting there. Burbridge that came piling in there, but Caden Lapsevich now. Don't know if we got donuts or not, but he has definitely parked it.
And what a well-deserved victory for Caden Lapsevich, though. He led a majority of the laps tonight. Lost the... Who starts, mind you, to put himself in position to win this? That gives him a good reason, of course, to burn it down.
Well, we'll start by welcoming our winner into our Victory Lane interview podium while we see him do some replays of some donuts there. Caden Lapsevich, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Sean Chenoweth learned a few things since last week.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is put in the time and the effort, and it comes just like real racing. It's like I said last week in the interview. He was complaining, and I talked to him a little bit throughout the week, taught him a few things, helped him a little bit, and I know there's a couple other people that contributed, so it was good to see him have a good run.
Hey, but what a race. The battle up front was great all night long. You were up there. We had some tire strategy at the end. Tell us about that big pass for the win, too.
I just nailed that restart. I think it was the second to last run. I don't know if it was the track temp or I changed something in my driving, but I just plowed, and Dale got to me and made a move, and I just let him have it. I knew he was quicker, so he ran a good race. Trayton had a good race, but we just had to. Track position was key here. It was hard to pass, so it was fun. I thank APC and you guys for putting this on. A lot of fun. I hope we can do some more of this. Thompson Photography, Brandon McFerrin Racing, Rick McCaw Racing, the local skate shop, everybody at Bobby Dale Legacy Esports. That was real fun.
Well, congratulations on the big win tonight. Second in a row for Caden Lapsevich. Good luck on Saturday night, and hopefully we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you.
Caden Lapsevich, your winner of the race number 2 for the APC eSERIES. And I believe we got the second place driver here shortly.
Yes, indeed. Standing by with him right now. In fact, I am Ryan Dyson. The 2-tire call, we were wondering how that would work out. It worked out pretty well for you. How do you feel coming home second tonight?
I'm pretty happy with that. It was very hard to pass out there. I'm really glad we took those 2 tires. The first 5 or 6 laps on the tires, it was just junk. It wouldn't turn, but once we got some heat in the right sides, it definitely started to turn. And I think I was faster than those guys all the last 15 laps or whatever. It's so hard to pass, and with the competition the way it is, it's very difficult to pass. Everyone's so quick, and I don't know what happened there on the last lap. I'll have to go back and watch that. We were 4th, and then we were 2nd. I was just happy to get back in line there and 4th, and then all of a sudden the seas parted, and here we are in 2nd.
You mentioned the difficulty to pass. What was kind of what you were thinking of as this race progressed to try and plan out your strategy to knowing there was that difficulty tonight?
Well, the strategy right off the get-go, I wasn't a ton of cautions, and it shows that everybody put in a ton of work this week, getting better and improving themselves to do what we had tonight. I gotta imagine we had less than 10 cautions tonight, so it was a heck of a race. And right off the get-go, once we started going green, I was like, holy smokes, so we're gonna go to a competition caution here, because it was announced in the drivers meeting that if we went 75 green right off the start, we were gonna have to have a competition caution for fuel. And so that started playing in my mind a little. And then once we got the caution there about 30 or 40 in, and you know, things kind of changed, and then Jamie let me know about the 2 tires, and everything just kind of worked out.
Indeed. Now, after such a good performance tonight, where's the focus now? Now, are you planning to keep inside the simulator? What's kind of the preparation now from here on out after another good performance tonight?
Well, unfortunately, not unfortunately, we're having a blast, but you know, unfortunately, because of the real world circumstances, we're forced to stay in the simulators. The real life racetracks are sitting out there on jack stands ready to go. So we'll keep back at this, and you know, I love these super late models, and I love iRacing, and obviously this is a great group of guys to race with or to be at the track with in real life, and we're going to continue doing this. This is awesome, and everyone showed how committed they are to it tonight, and I think it really showed with the race, and I'd have to think that from the broadcast and everyone watching at home that it was definitely a good show. So watch tomorrow for some details to come out on some upcoming races for this APC eSERIES.
Absolutely. You've put in a ton of work as well, Ryan, to make sure this goes off without a hitch. I think it was an absolute success tonight, from my opinion. Anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Well, obviously we're representing all of our real life sponsors here with this 28 machine, so I got to go through them and thank each and every one of them. They backed us this year in our real racing, so obviously got to thank APC Auto Parts Centers. They're a major supporter of ours, and McMaster's Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. They're a big partner of ours. Epic Raceway, such a big involvement in Ontario racing and a great partner of ours too. And Thorn Property Management Limited, 2020 Insurance, Lucas Oil, Frank and Gus Pizza, Our Expression Studio, Puck Stoppers Goaltending, Blackfly Beverage Co. There's so many great partners we have with our racing program, and we're happy to represent them here in the APC eSERIES on iRacing.
Glad to have you with us tonight. Glad to see you perform well tonight. Congratulations on second.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Absolutely. That was Ryan Dyson coming home second tonight. Jamie, back over to you.
Well, welcome into our interview studio, into the press room, if you will. Little Ray Morneau and the 03 machine. Solid third place finish for you, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. We got in the wall there early. It was lap 30, I think, or 40, and had to come in a couple times, get it fixed, and just slowly picked them off from there, and then found ourselves back up the front.
Looks like the crew did some good work with the virtual hammers and virtual duct tapes tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they got her fixed up perfect.
Did you have to get their hands out of the coolers first to give you a hand there?
Well, that could be trouble at the end of the night here.
Let's talk about your run. Kind of quiet. You had a couple good battles. We talked about you were in a good battle with Gresso back in about 6th, 7th, 8th with about 4 cars for about 10 laps, 20 laps. And tell us about your night and working your way through the field all night.
Yeah, this track was really racy tonight. The outside, you could get it to work, and the inside, if you kept them pinched, you could make some ground on the outside. So it made for some awesome racing. Like I said, we got together with the 81 there and put it in the wall and came down, got it fixed up, and like I said, we got back up here, but it was just slowly picking them off, and we got our way back up here to third. Hopefully next race we get 2 spots better.
You've been doing a lot of iRacing to obviously pass the time till real racing gets started. What was your opinion of the racing tonight? It was, to us, night and day different from last week. Nice wide track, lots of room, and you guys were able to put on a show and really run for green flag sessions tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We a lot better than last week. Last week was tight little bull ring, and like you said, this track's so wide, and you got 2 grooves to run on. Makes it a little bit better for racing, but I think the whole week, with everybody getting another week under their belt and being a little more experienced, really helped, and really look forward to the next race. After this one, we had some nice long green flag runs, let everybody kind of situate themselves, and I think it was a real good race.
You got to get on the folks at iRacing. You get Flat Rock, Toledo, and the Grand Bend Bull Ring on the simulator. You have a little home track advantage.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to have. I've never got to run on a track on here that I've run at, so I'd like to see what the comparison is. And the next one I really want on here is Jukasa. It's quite the place, and I think that one will be pretty neat once it gets on here, because I'm sure they're going to be working on it.
Good stuff. Congratulations on a third place finish, Ray. I know you got a lot of sponsors you want to thank for helping you out.
Yeah, for sure. First off, got to thank that virtual pit crew there. They got her fixed up and back up to the front. Express Group, Hallmark Memorial, Revered Snowplowing, Highland Tools, Double R Reworks, Sun Parlor Trailers, and all the virtual fans for coming out, and everybody for tuning in. I know it sounded like last week was a real good turnout. And with the racing this week, I'd have to think replays are going to be real good. So just thanks to everybody watching, and huge shout out to APC and all you guys announcers and all the broadcasters for putting this show on. It's quite the deal, and how short of a time they got it together.
Ray Morno, third place finish here tonight. Congratulations on the great run, and we'll check you out next week.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Justin, there's our top 3 from tonight. Now, do you get on the sim at all or not?
I actually get on the sim a fair amount, not too much in recent times, have to admit, but I honestly race a ton. In full disclosure, Caden and Trey Lapsovich are actually my teammates on the iRacing service, so I've learned a lot from drivers such as those. There is a lot of adjustment that comes along. The more time you put in, though, as the drivers hit upon, the better you can be, and I think it absolutely showed tonight who put in the work to improve and how quick they were tonight in terms of that adaptability. It takes a couple weeks for some drivers, and we've seen the good example tonight of some of them. Others, such as we've seen Lapsovich, Dyson, and Morno, who have been a part of the iRacing service, shown they have improved as well over the past couple weeks as well in these machines.
Well, and it can be a tricky mistress. I got racing last Saturday or Sunday, and actually won a race at Talladega. And then, of course, the next race, I was the professional by then and went 3 wide going into turn 1, bounced off the wall. Then I bounced off my buddy Matt Pritico. Luckily, Matt continued and ended up winning the race, and I ended up DNFing and destroying a couple cars. And, yep, it was a humbling experience.
Yeah, that could happen on the iRacing service, absolutely, Jamie. But tonight, I think it was an absolutely phenomenal show. Can't wait to hear what happens next for the APC eSERIES, to see what events happen next on the calendar. I hope you had fun tonight, because I sure did, Jamie.
Absolutely great show. Congratulations to our top 3, Caden Lapsovich, Ryan Dyson, Little Ray Morno, top 3 finishers. Race number 2 here at Virtual Richmond Speedway, Richmond, Virginia, for the APC eSERIES. On behalf of myself and Justin Prince, just remember, if you're drinking, don't drive. If you're walking, don't trip. Have a good night.